September 25th, 2000 is when I jumped.
Okay. There goes Bob's.
Bye, Bob's. Good to see you. Best donuts in the game. So yeah, what are you kind of thinking? What you want to talk about today with me
So,
at the podcast?
so basically, it's,
Viral courage.
So basically, it's talking about the moment that your incident occurred, you became a viral sensation, and you took that and kind of, how did you get to here? Because you're utilizing media now to help people, and you've had some struggles along the way.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of addressing some of those struggles and really hitting the strengths and the different sources of media that you've utilized.
All right, so where are we right now? What is this? This is
I call it the A Tower, the Anastasio
the Anastasio office building. The podcast is ready. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I've kind of come full circle.
Wow.
People my age, and how can they stop working and all about health and wealth and making it from your house? Because now in today's gig economy, there's ways for people to make a living doing things, and I think it's a healthy thing to step away from work, and so it's kind of tapping into that niche. Then there's Viral Courage, and then there's Wrestle Live, which Wrestle Live is going to be under the SF Elite umbrella. And so those are all my big projects. Hey, so this is exciting. This is about the... Here we go. Now I got to compose myself. I should do the breathing exercise.
You should do 4-8 at least 3 or 4 times before you ever do anything in your life. Let's do it together here.
All right, then I'm ready.
You gotta count. One more.
At work, see? Yeah. They taught me that at UC Berkeley journalism school, but I never actually tried it before.
The more you do it, the more calm you will be during the day.
That's excellent.
And it really is good for people with heart issues.
Yeah. So this show is called Viral Courage, and it's about inspiring people on how to use media properly and how to prevent and withstand some of the negativity that happens in media. And Kevin Hines is a former student of mine. He's a class of 2000.
Crusader.
He wrestled. He was on the wrestling team, and he was one of my better wrestlers, especially when he came out as a youngster that never wrestled before high school. And he was involved with the school play, and some major life incidents happened to him starting around his junior season. After his sophomore season as a wrestler, he was adopted, a foster child, and his parents were going through a divorce, and which that's intense for anyone. And on top of that, he had a genetic disposition. Is that how you would say it?
Well, they used to say it was hereditary. Now they say it's genetic. Both my biological mother and father, Marcia Veronica Prasad Silvera and Martino Ferraris, they had both been diagnosed with manic depression. But Coach, I just learned that my birth mother had been triply diagnosed with manic depression, what we today call bipolar disorder, what I have, schizophrenia, and multiple personality disorder.
Wow.
She had over 10 aliases in her life, as in like ID cards and everything. She thought she was she would become other people. And I just met with her, the woman who grew up with her, and learned this for the very first time a week and a half ago.
Wow. Yeah. So poor Kevin, all of this, which he showed no signs of as a person who was working very closely to him up until his sophomore year, all of a sudden drastically changed and started struggling with this mental illness, which often comes out around that age because of puberty and the hormonal changes in children, which I later found out more information about. And after graduating in 2000, he was still struggling, as anybody would, with all of these challenges facing him. And things hit an all-time low for him on September What was the day?
On well, to be clear, like the night before, so September 24th of the year 2000, I sat in my room. Now, mind you, Coach, I had not slept in 14 days, but 2 hours.
Wow.
Not sleeping causes psychosis all by itself.
Right.
I was already dealing with hallucinations, auditory and visual. I was already dealing with extreme paranoid delusions every day. I was already manically grandiose, thinking I could do things that were impossible, implausible, and unrealistic. And I was already having, I was seeing death himself hover through my window every day. As in if you think of death in the movies, his cloak, his hood, he would have a staff and blade in his right bony arm, his scythe, the whole thing, like the big, the one you shear wheat with, he had the whole thing. And he reaches out his bony hand from that cloak and he turns it upside down like this and he says, as his eyes light to fire in his skull's face, "Come home with me." And death would visit me every day, Monday through Monday, every day, for weeks on end. That same vision would happen every time I laid down to try to sleep. Death would hover through one wall, a window, a wall, my closet. He would always appear, and it was almost like if you made a movie, like a narrative film, and you showed this happening, it would terrify the strongest of people.
Right.
All right. He would hover through some kind of wall, some kind of window, and I was always exactly the same. He'd reach out, he'd turn us down, and he would say, "Come home with me," in the most terrifying death voice you can possibly imagine. As he said that, his eyes would light to fire, foaming from his eye, and I would be paralyzed. I wouldn't be able to move. Now, people talk about sleep paralysis. This was definitely a part of it. Not sleeping for 14 hours caused this. In a scientific or doctoral term, the doctor would say that's what caused it. But that didn't make it any less real.
Right.
Because I thought it was really happening, but I didn't tell anybody.
No, but you took an action that forever changed your life.
Yeah, so that last night I saw death, and nobody knows this story. The last night I saw death, he hovers through my window, which is where he first hovered. He hovered through walls, but he hovered through my window. And the last night I saw him, it was a little different. He looked at me, and he's a massive, massive being. He's like to the ceiling of my room. And I'm 5'7", I'm not a tall guy. And he hovered, and he grew, like as in size. He went from here to here. And he goes, basically looks at me and he goes, "Your time is up." And I when he disappeared, because he would always disappear, I took my bag with my notebook, and in that notebook was the note. "Dear Mom, I love you, but you're not always right. Dear Dad, I love you, but stop bringing the office home. This isn't work." To my brother, Joseph, who wanted to be a DJ and be a household name. To my sister, Elizabeth, who wanted to be a filmmaker. "You got this." I said to my best friend, Jake Lewis, at the time, who you know very well, went to Reader News Crusader, I said to Jake Lewis, "You'll find another best friend," as if that's remotely how it works. And then I said to my girlfriend, "It's not you, it's me." Which my wife would today go, "No, Kevin, it's always you." But anyway. So death says what he says, he leaves. I finished the note, I put it in my shoulder bag, put that shoulder bag by the door. At 6 in the morning, I felt like bugs, like beetles were crawling under my skin for my entire body. I could see them. Right? They weren't there, but I could see bumps all over my body and movement. Like, you've seen the movies like that, right? Where the beetles are crawling under the skin. Mummy did that. Remember the beetles crawling under the person? Yeah, so it was, imagine the movie The Mummy, the original Mummy movie, what O'Connell, what is his name? O'Connor, I don't know. Jeff O'Connell, right? Jeff O'Connell is in the movie, I think. And no, that's not right. Brendan Fraser. Sorry, Jeff O'Connell, you look a lot like Brendan Fraser in my mind. So, bugs are crawling inside me over my entire body, and I feel them trying to eat me, right? Now, at this situation, what most people don't know is that I had such great paranoia that I thought that there were bugs were in my sheets. So I went downstairs, my dad's in his room sleeping, I went downstairs and I grabbed a bottle, a canister of Lysol, an aerosol, right? I went upstairs, and it was just probably 3 hours before 6 o'clock, so 3 o'clock. And I sprayed my sheet, I soaked my sheets in Lysol.
Wow.
Because I thought the bugs were going to eat me, so then I got into the sheets. Soaked with Lysol. So I was breathing Lysol, like copious, massive amounts of Lysol. I finished the can on the sheets. And I'm inhaling that. So I'm already psychotic from bipolar disorder. I'm secondarily psychotic from no sleep, and now I'm tertiarily psychotic from Lysol. It was poisoning me.
Right.
Right? So I'm getting in bed and I try to go to sleep again. 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm looking at the ceiling. Now I'm seeing metallic spiders crawl across my entire ceiling, and I think they're going to eat me. So that's going on for about 3 hours. I'm still not telling anyone. I'm still like, I don't know what's going on. I'm seeing all kinds of other things that weren't there. I'm hearing all kinds of things that weren't there. At 6 in the morning, I entered my dad's room. My dad, Pat Hines. You know Pat.
Yeah.
Pat Hines. Shout out to Pat Hines. He's Patrick Kevin Hines and John Kevin Hines. He adopted me, made me his son. One of the most beautiful men in the world. One of the toughest men I've ever known, next to his uncle, my great uncle Kevin Joseph Ryan. May he rest in peace. So Pat Hines is sleeping with his breathing apparatus.
Yeah, and on